Hello and welcome. I am Philip Zolota. I am the CEO of Moyo Growth Marketing Agency. And here he is.
Hi, I'm Filip Fucic. I'm a pricing mentor, and I have this brand Fearless Pricing. Let's go.
Awesome. Today's topic is quiet discounts. So today we are touching that specific point. So let's start without further ado. Philip, go.
So when we say quiet discounts, so it's discounts that you don't declare, that the client doesn't see. There's many ways to do that, and we'll touch upon it. So that's not something that you put on an invoice or something that you say, aha, okay, so you'll take 3, so you'll get 30% off. No, that's something that you do in your head, or you do while you work, and the client never knows about it. So in general, don't do discounts, kids. They're addictive and not good for you. But even if you do discounts, always declare them. There's basically no good reason to do a quiet discount. So this is why we wanted to talk about this today, right? So what would you say? What would you say are the main, the worst consequences of using a quiet discount?
Yeah, potentially the worst consequence is if people are at the end of line going part ways in terms of business cooperation or similar, they have a big gap in communication. Somebody gave a kawaii discount or created added value in that relationship, but never communicated that. And when they get to this stage, okay, what will be happening as the next step? Maybe expansion of their service, considering budget and similar. Then you can have a big discrepancy between the expectations from the service provider side and the client side. And as you mentioned once, a big potential problem can be the fact that the client never accepted nor ordered specific set of activities which were being given through the activities on the service provider side. And then you have a gap.
They never
Exactly.
So absolutely. I think the practice of quiet discounts, because we're talking always about differences between swan pricing and duck pricing. So commodities pricing being the usual case, being the ducks, and expert services being the swans. This is a duck practice coming from a hyper contested, hyper saturated market of, I don't know, window cleaners, doesn't really matter, that doesn't really make sense in a swan context. Sometimes it's technically the same thing, technically the same job, but when specialized enough, these okay, so this is the example. Let's say window cleaners for big business buildings. You can find a huge number of people that can and will wash the windows from on the ground floor. That's not a problem, right? And they have pretty good reasons to be hyper competitive and, you know, work in some favors so that you recommend them or something like that, because they're technically interchangeable. I mean, as long as some minimums are met, it doesn't really matter who washes your windows on the ground floor. Now, somebody who can wash the windows on the 100th floor, that's something else. It's still washing windows, but they have to have certificates, equipment, experience, special kind of people who can do that kind of a job, right? Insurance. So there's way less competition for the 100th floor. So although it's still technically window washing, they have no need to do those kinds of things. So usually experts can find a market where they don't have to do these things. And when we talk about these things, there's three things that we wanted to mention. So not declaring extra work, not declaring added value, and not declaring direct discounts, right? So you had an example for extra work. So quiet discount, but not declaring extra work. What is that?
Yeah, it's simple example. For maybe some some agency which provides branding expertise service, helping their clients in logo visualizations and everything else. They define a deal with their respectable client and customer to do the small book of standards, logo, memo, and several more details and visualizations. And they're so happy because of that engagement, and they give and do extra work and create additional things which never have been mentioned, nor the client ordered them. So that is a specific potential problem, which they're practically giving something for free. Nobody asked them to do so. And their respectable perspective can be, okay, I appreciate this relationship, and they kind of communicate the fear of losing that specific client, which is the opposite of the actual state and position they should be setting up for them as the expertise-based business. That is a mere and quite simple example, which I saw in quite a bunch of occasions.
Okay. Yeah, because we're not saying you shouldn't be nice to your customers. Be nice to your customers, but declare it. Make sure they see it. Because people think, and we're not talking about employed people here, but this is a toxic belief for the workplace as well. If I only do, I keep my head down and only do great quality, people will notice. Nobody will notice. And especially when you're expert, nobody will notice because they don't know how to recognize it, right? So how would they notice? And then sometimes this breeds resentment because, how can you treat me that way? I gave you all of that free work. Yep. And firstly, they have no idea that you gave them free work. And this is why this is a quiet discount. So you gave them work which they didn't pay for, but they never asked for it. So you couldn't bill it. And it's okay to give them extra stuff, but not be quiet about it and expect them to see it.
Exactly.
Right? And because, and I think you mentioned this, it looks like it makes you look needy.
Exactly.
Like you really need that client, and that's not attractive.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and completely unnecessary, because one thing is appreciation towards your client and customer. You have so many ways to express the gratitude, to nurture the relationship, but not necessarily and primarily on that specific type of the approach with quiet discounts. It's a wrong way to express the gratitude, depreciation, anything else. As said, you are positioning yourself and putting yourself in the bad spot, communicating neediness. I'm so happy that you are here with me. The point is in reciprocity. I am giving and receiving at the same time. So that is a good path to follow in terms of good balance in cooperation, collaboration, business partnerships, and similar relationships by default.
Yeah, because I mean, why wouldn't you be? Why is it wrong to be seen as needy? Well, like I said, it's not attractive look, right? It's not a good look, and you are needlessly shifting the power to them. So even if you do need them, that's not something that you want to communicate, because it will only make your situation worse. Of course, there's always saints, but don't count on having a saint for a client.
Yeah.
So as even if you really need that client, as Leonard Cohen said, nobody ever got a lover back by begging on his knees, right? That doesn't work. So and when you want to hire an expert, you want to hire somebody with high level of confidence because you lack it. We'll talk about this some other time. But this doesn't look confident, so people start second guessing their decision. Okay, I mean, if these people really only have me as a big client or very close to that, maybe I shouldn't have hired them. I mean, who wants an expert that nobody else wants, right? So maybe there's something I don't know, then they start second guessing you and second guessing stuff on your bill, and it does not lead to anything good, right? Okay, which leads us to the second thing, which is not declaring extra value. So one thing was work, extra hours that you did to achieve their, if they want to pay per hour and you did more hours, you should declare this. You should sometimes say, listen, this is going to be more than we budgeted for because of these reasons. And they say, yes, okay, I understand. This is going to be at least that much more. Do you want to do it? That's a much better look than just doing it and keeping it quiet, or just, billing it and hoping for the best. That's also not good, but that's not a discount. We're not talking about that. But if you say, oh yeah, it totally just took me the 6 hours that you paid for, and it actually took you 12, you're also running the risk of the client saying, okay, so this person can do that in 6 hours. So next time I'm in a rush, I'm going to lean on the fact that I know that this person can do that in 6 hours, right? And that can be catastrophic. So what did you want to say about not declaring value, extra value?
Yeah, the primary premise experts need to have on their mind is the fact that other side, the clients, don't know anything about their actual work and what they'll be providing. They know the end goal and the result, but they don't know, and they don't need to know the details of the work. So it would be a wrong premise, the expectation in terms of extra valorization of the work if you didn't communicate that. Often companies, expertise-based businesses, are giving extra value, simply widening or extending the set of work to create additional layer and additional chunk of value to the clients and customers without declaring it. And cumulatively speaking, through the time, that can be bad for that relationship, because the side which provides the service would think, okay, we are giving too much, we need to make a corrections in the price. We are continuously in a 6 or 7 month frame created so many things, but the point is, it's your responsibility, your accountability doing so. You decided not to communicate and deliver something extra which nobody received as information, nor the proposal, nor they give the acceptance of that specific scope of the activity. So if that happens, you cannot be angry with your client. It's your fault.
Resentful for sure.
Exactly.
Resentful for sure. Okay, yes. And the last case that is very, very common is also what I call price dropping. So at the last moment, you go with a lower price for no good reason, and don't declare this as a discount. So you're saying, I'm going to ask for 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. He says, how much? You say 1,800. So, right? And you know what happens then? He asks for a discount.
Yeah.
That happens so many times. So for some reason, it seems easier to just go a little lower than you intended to, which can then put you in a bad negotiating position, because you're starting from a discount that you already given. and it's not really a good look either if you can't go, you know, $1 below what you wanted to, I mean, that you first asked for, because you're not giving them any leeway, you're not giving them a psychological win, and then you usually have to bend a little, then you actually underpriced yourself, and you know this, and then something extra happens. Don't get me wrong, sometimes people ask for discounts, and that's something else. This is just about the ones that we do on our own, undeclared.
Yeah, and do not depreciate your value on hello. That's simply wrong.
Oh yeah, so it's not the topic for today, but when people say, you know, you can have 30 hours for 2,000 or 60 hours for 5,800 or 90 hours for 56, right? Why are you giving discounts for quantity? You're selling fish, you're selling cans of tomatoes, so you know, the more you do, no, you still have to do the same amount of hours. There's no, and maybe you'll get asked for a discount, and then you'll negotiate it, and you'll get something in return. That's something else. But you volunteering a discount is absolutely a bad practice.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
I agree completely.
what an offer is, so when you say something is an offer, when you do something like that, right? This is 6,000, but you can get it for 580, right? What you just did was counterbid yourself. So you said 6,000, and then you said 5,800. And that does not look confident either. That means you have no idea what you're doing, right? Even if you do, it looks like you don't. So yes. Anyway, quiet discounting is simply not needed. You can simply stop doing it. You stop yourself from doing it, and nothing will change. If you're an expert, if you're not easily replaced, if you simply declare stuff, you will be always better off. So it's just almost no tactical value to it. I wanted to just say, sometimes it's not the expert's fault. It's the client that asks for extra stuff, thinking that they're going to get it because, you know, they're the buyer, and the buyer is always right, or something.
Yeah.
Right. I'm still contemplating the idea of writing a book called "The Buyer is Always Wrong."
And that is definitely a good point.
I mean, not in all cases, but in cases that we're talking about,
yeah,
in our world, they're not wrong about what they want, absolutely. But more often than not, they're wrong about what exactly do they need to achieve that. Right? They're missing steps. They're missing key problems, key solutions. That's why they need an expert. That's okay.
Exactly.
I'm like that in 99% of my life, where I'm not dealing with my own field of expertise. I could be completely wrong on everything, and I know this, right? So I'm always wrong, except when I'm dealing with the stuff that I understand. I fully accept that. But anyway, sometimes the client asks for this, and now the idea is to say out loud, aha, okay, well, that's not a part of our deal. So I would be glad, if it's a small thing, I would be glad to do this. But any further change in scope will require will have to be quoted for, right?
Yeah.
Or we can go on an hourly basis, and a premium hourly basis. You don't want to encourage that kind of a thing. And you can ask me how much you want. And as soon as it costs them money, they're usually going to go at the minimum of these things. But if they say, well, change this and change that, and they start demanding many things, and you don't charge for them, it's going to be harder to charge for them for the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 12th time.
Yeah.
You must have an experience like this in your agency life.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when I was starting, and through the time you simply switch the paradigm and you put the things in the right place. That is a true rabbit hole. You can go endlessly with additional iterations. People are generally are trying to bypass any kind of confrontation, but the point is, confrontation is a God-given activity because you can adequately address the case scenario, the existing state, the desired state, and manage it. Also with the expectations. If you need additional work, something is out of the scope of initial requirements and what is being defined and closed as a deal. Okay, you have a second iteration of estimate, proposal, confirmation, delivery. And it is okay. Some of the clients will say no. Somebody of them will say, "Oh, why you don't want to do this? We were done so much." Awesome. The point is, okay, I appreciate you. You appreciate me. It's a cool symbiosis. A rule of reciprocity always needs to kick in.
Yes.
When you have a good balance, you have a good relationship, you have a long-term business cooperation and friendship. And that's it. That is the fundamentals. If you have that set up right, then you're on the good path.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is simply a different gig from a salaried person that makes this kind of calculation and says, "Oh, I'll just do the extra work and it will show up in my quality, or show up in my bonus." There is no bonus for freelancers. That's I think that's a wrap. Do you think that we need to say something else?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything considering this specific topic for today. Yeah.
So to reiterate, don't do discounts, and if you do discounts, don't do quiet discounts.
Yeah. Be very loud about that.
Exactly. So for Fearless Pricing, I'm Filip Vucic. Thank you for listening to us today.
I'm Filip Zolota. Thank you all and enjoying the rest of the day.
Exactly. See ya. Bye.
Bye.